Go ahead, Andy.
Okay. This who would win? I don't know if we've ever done a tag team before.
We've done two.
Oh, will you bring up the
2-on-2s.
names real quick so I don't forget
I know them.
Oh, okay, great. So it's Zack and Cody of the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody versus Annie and Hallie of the Parent Trap. The twins in the Parent Trap, the twins in Zack and Cody going at it.
Hallie, Taylor, Annie, James, I think.
It's
Might
Parker. It's Hallie Parker. That much I know.
Yeah.
Which that movie is phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the original one?
No.
Neither have I. I don't know why anybody would. Yeah. but yeah, the one with Lindsay Lohan is unbelievable. I don't know. I mean, I'll go.
Yeah, start us off.
The biggest issue going into a fight between these two sets of twins is that Zack and the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was, it's a much longer TV series than just the compacted 2-hour movie that we have in
87 episodes, not including Sweet Life on Deck.
So I don't know why you know that, but so you do get to see Zack and Cody get put in a lot more situations than the Parent Trap sisters. With that being said, the Parent Trap sisters, one, I think that you're going to have a hard time making the argument for Zack and Cody in this fight because the Parent Trap sisters are both good at everything. They're good at poker. They're good at fencing. They were able at one point to get. One was able to get the other's furniture from their room at camp onto the roof of the other one's bunkhouse, cabin,
bunkhouse.
As like a 8. I don't know how old they were in the movie. Like a 10-year-old girl, maybe.
Probably like 11.
Yeah.
12. My
12?
first guess was going to be 12, but I felt high at
Yeah.
12. Yeah, I felt high at 12.
Yeah.
Also, they're both very independent. Right?
The sets of twins, you mean, or just?
No, I'm talking about
just.
I'm talking about just Hallie and Annie, and you see them. I mean, literally change places and fly to different parts of different countries, and they're just okay with kind of rolling with the punches in order. Whereas in the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, I feel like as much as they may have ran rampant through that hotel, like they were both kind of, I mean, like scaredy cats. Like they were afraid of. I mean, authority was their big thing too. Like they didn't like to get yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas,
Shout out Mr. Mosby.
Whereas the Parent Trap sisters, they don't give a fuck. They'll fence the shit out of you if you try to yell at them. Like, I feel like they weren't even able to get disciplined. They tried to get disciplined. They put them in the same bunk, and it turned out that they were just twins, and now they're best friends, and they got their parents back together. I think that somebody else needs to talk is what I think.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sydney?
So, okay, yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the Parent Trap twins just because they were able to fool both of their parents. Like, that's such a big deal that you could just swap lives, essentially, and your parent is oblivious. First of all, bad parenting. Secondly, I just like that. I feel like there's a lot of psychological warfare they've got going on, which I think kind of puts them a little bit above Zack and Cody. Because kind of what you were saying, that they're also independent, where I feel like Zack and Cody...
They're not.
They're
they
dependent
rely
on each
on
other.
the walls of their hotel to keep them alive.
That too,
right.
yeah.
A lot of their adventures are like they get crazy, but they do just happen in that hotel. They don't really. If they ever got onto the street, then they might just go insane.
It would be different if their hotel was like the Cecil Hotel, like if that's where they were living. Have you watched that?
Okay, I have. One.
Should we wait till after we finish the Hood of the Week?
Okay, that's.
Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts and
Okay,
feelings.
I'm in.
Okay,
I'll fill in on
I
that.
like it. This is so fascinating. Both sets of twins obviously get into a lot of trouble. The Sweet Life, those two fellas, their exploits seem they're a lot more. I want to use the term hijinksical, which I think is a word that I'm coining right now.
Okay.
Hijinksical,
Use it in
featuring a lot of
sentence.
hijinks.
Mm-hmm.
Hijinks. Zach and Cody's antics were quite hijinksical. I think that's a Pokemon also. But they did experience a lot more of them. However, Hallie?
Annie. Think of it as like they rhyme, but it's not the end of the word. It's the beginning of the word. Annie, Hallie. Do you know what I'm saying? The A is like...
No, not at all.
Think of it as they
That
rhyme,
makes
but they
complete
don't
fucking
rhyme.
sense. By the way, and let me explain it to you. I shouldn't say rhyme wasn't the right word. The right word
But
was
they make the same
A.
sound.
The same A.
Sure.
Because you keep trying to say...
I keep trying to say Holly.
Yeah. But it's not Haley or it's Hallie.
It's Hallie. So
That's stupid, first of all. Who names their kid? Wait.
Hallie.
Now I'm overthinking it.
Hallie.
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 Wait, say it again.
Holly.
Hallie.
Hallie and Annie.
Hallie. No, I don't like that.
Yeah, we gotta. Can we get somebody on that? Can we get somebody to change that? Hallie and Annie. They really only have one event that's like bonkers, but it's a pretty intense one. Like you guys both kind of like Sydney. Basically, you said tricking the parents and stuff. Obviously, we should note they did not trick their butler
Butlers.
or their like housekeeper.
Yeah.
So that also says a lot about the type of parents that we're dealing with.
Well, see, I have two things to say. Well, I feel like I have to stay out in the Hallie Annie thing, like the name Hallie. I kind of like it. When it comes to the fight, though, the main argument that could be made for Zack and Cody, though, is that Zack and Cody grew up together, right? They've known each other their whole lives. The Parent Trap girls just met. I do think this argument gets debunked because of how just in touch they are instantly. But some people might look at that as, chemistry, even though it seems to be there, it may not be there as much as it is for Zack and Cody. To the parents. One, the butler knew.
Mm-hmm.
The man butler knew.
The man butler.
Well, because the lady, or I don't remember, she's not a butler, whatever
She's
she
like
is.
A maid?
She's a housekeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just hangs out and does stuff for him. She picked up on it. The thing about saying that you blame the parents, I mean, the mom.
No, I don't blame. Well,
if you're,
I do blame the parents.
Because here's the thing. If you're a parent, so when they get back from camp, the parents have no clue, that the opposite twin was also at camp. So they still, in their minds, have no clue what this twin is doing. Mm-hmm. So even if your daughter comes back with the weirdest behavior you've ever seen, you can't assume she's a different person because you have no clue that, like, how would she have possibly ever connected with the other twin?
That makes a lot of sense. So now the question becomes, what's wrong with the butler and the housekeeper that they immediately are like, different person, this is not the same child?
Because I think that there's an underlying story in the movie, if you really pay attention, that loosely translates to the male butler like overstaging this.
The man butler.
Like I think that like you can almost look at it as like she was the one from England was like virtually placed there because they thought that's what I think.
Also, wait. Oh, so it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but like the fact that she would have to speak with an English accent, like there's no way that her English accent was that good to fool anyone.
The mom. A real English person.
Right.
But again, though, I mean, they do practice it. There's that scene in the movie, and some people are just naturally better at accents than others, so that could factor in.
Right, but
Andrew
she's
being
also
one of them.
how
Hello,
old?
Governor.
Yep.
No, but
11
again,
or
like,
12.
but again, like, if you sent your kid to a summer camp in a different country, and they came
That's
back
also very
talking,
strange.
which is why I'm saying I think that there's an underlying story that the butler from the English family,
the man butler,
has a hand in the fact that maybe he doesn't know that the other sister's gonna be there, but like I think he's really testing I think it was his idea. It was definitely his idea. I think.
That does
Back
make
to what
sense.
I was saying.
Okay.
Again, even if your kid comes back from camp and is speaking differently, you're not going to assume that they randomly found their twin and switched bodies.
Right. So let me ask you guys this. This is obviously way off the rails of who would win the week.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say your kid does come back from summer camp. How soon after that do you start thinking that it's a different child? How long does it take you to for that thought to like get into your head?
Well, they
and start
actually,
to grow?
as much as it seems like they lasted long, they only lasted like 3 or 4 days.
Oh, I think it was longer than that.
No,
I think
it's not.
Weeks.
It's not, because what happens is the one sister calls the other sister and says, like, we have to do this right now. We can't wait another day because Dad's getting engaged.
Right. Okay.
So
that makes
that's
sense.
how she gets for. Yeah. So
that's a great plot device.
Yeah. Just getting married.
Okay.
So, okay, but back to the who would win the week, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to lock in my answer as the Parent Trap sisters, because I do think that they're just more independent, maybe even creative in a sense, where they can come up with an idea of how to fool Zack and Cody.
I don't know about if creative is the right
I don't
word.
think they're afraid. Like, I don't think they would be intimidated in any sense by Zack and Cody. I don't think they have a reason to, nor do I think they would be intimidated by anybody.
Especially since they were like, oh yeah, let's just swap lives and live in completely different countries.
Right.
That like,
These girls aren't
there's no
afraid of
limits.
No, they're not scared. So I'm going to lock that in as my answer.
I think that I almost said the twins. They're both twins. I think that Holly and Annie. Haley. Fuck, I really thought I'd nailed it that time.
No, completely different name.
I think that Haley and Annie would for sure be able to outsmart Zack and Cody. However, the creative thing I definitely disagree with. I think Zack and Cody, they are kind of foolish enough or closed off enough, whatever, that they don't kind of realize their own limitations. So I think that they would be like, let's build like a fucking human-sized bird cage out of toilet paper rolls or something, and then drop it on them, and somehow it's heavy enough. Like, so if they were able to get the jump on them, then maybe they would win. However, even in that scenario, I think that Hallie and Annie would be able to say like, hey, let me out of here. And they'd be like, okay, sure. And it would be that easy for them to do it. And I think the independence thing, like you said, plays a huge factor. Like, these girls, I don't know how much the fencing thing is going to come in, but they're definitely
if there's
badasses.
fencing swords, they can fence like no other.
So I think that there's really no picking Zack and Cody to ultimately win. I'm not saying that there are points in this fight where they wouldn't have the upper hand, because it's quite possible that they could get themselves in that position. But at the end of the day, to root against the Parent Trap twins is a massive folly.
Any thoughts?
Ditto? I don't know. I thought that you said it pretty well. I mean, there's pros and cons to both sides. That's about it. That's all I've got.
So, unanimous sweep, which doesn't happen often, but it does today. If you disagree with us, you can always vote on social media.
Battle of the Twins. Now,
Battle
these twins versus the Shining Twins.
I was actually going to throw another honorable mention in there, and it was Dylan and Cole Sprouse today versus two Lindsay Lohans today. Real fight.
Is Lindsay Lohan behind the wheel of a motor vehicle?
No, but she can be under the influence of drugs.
Then I don't think they're going to be able to take her down.
Yeah. But I think that the Sprouse brothers probably do some drugs too. I know the one feel like.
What?
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I hope
not.